You're looking for a projector that actually fits into your living room, doesn't make you feel like you're constantly tweaking settings, and gives you a picture you can enjoy night after night, not just a glossy spec sheet you can't translate into real life. The hesitation most of us feel is real. Spend a few $100s and end up with a dim, washed-out image that only works in a dark basement, or buy a flashy 3D model that turns out to be a gimmick when you try to watch a regular movie. I've spent the last couple of weeks setting up the Epson Home Cinema 3020 in a typical suburban home, watching family game night, a Netflix binge, and even a couple of 3D Blu-ray discs to see how it behaves when the lights are on, when they're off, and when the kids are moving around the room. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the Epson 3020 feels like a middle ground device. It's not a budget lamp thrower that forces you into total darkness, but it's also not a premium cinema-grade unit that will cost you a small fortune. The biggest draw is its 2,300 lumens of combined white and color brightness, which, in practice, means you can comfortably watch a movie with a few lamps on in the room without the picture turning into a gray mush. I set it up in my family room with a 7-foot screen, ambient lighting from a floor lamp, and the image stayed bright enough to see details in dark scenes while still keeping whites from looking blown out. That's the kind of everyday usability most buyers need. You don't have to schedule a movie night at midnight just to get a decent picture. Now, the 3LCD technology Epson uses is known for producing accurate colors, and that shows up when you stream a nature documentary or play a colorful video game. The greens stay vivid, the reds aren't oversaturated, and skin tones look natural. What many reviewers forget to mention is how the projector handles motion. Because the 3020 runs at a respectable 60 Hz refresh, fast-moving sports or action movies didn't produce the ghosting you sometimes see on cheaper models. I watched a high-octane basketball game and the ball's trajectory stayed crisp, even when it crossed the screen quickly. If you're the type who loves 3D movies, the 3020 comes with 2 pairs of RF 3D glasses and an on-the-fly 2D-to 3D conversion. In the real world, the conversion works well enough for casual viewing. You get that depth effect without needing a separate 3D source. However, the depth isn't as pronounced as a native 3D Blu-ray, and the glasses can feel a bit heavy after an hour. If you're a hardcore 3D enthusiast who owns a library of 3D discs, you'll probably notice the compromise. For most families, the occasional 3D family movie will be fun, but it isn't the core reason to pick this projector. One hidden trade-off is the throw distance. The 3020 is designed for a short throw setup, meaning you can place it close to the screen and still get a 100-inch image. In my test, I placed it about 6 feet from a 100-inch screen and the image was perfectly framed. The downside is the lens shift is limited, so you need to be fairly precise about where you mount it. If you're dealing with a low ceiling or a fixed shelf, you might need a small piece of furniture to get the right height. It's not a deal breaker, but it's something to plan for before you buy. Another practical point is the lamp life. Epson rates the lamp at around 3,500 hours in normal mode. In everyday use, that translates to roughly 2 years of weekly movie nights before you have to replace the lamp. The lamp replacement isn't cheap, but it's comparable to other projectors in this class. If you're looking for a device you'll use daily for work presentations and occasional movies, you should factor that maintenance cost into your budget. Who should consider the Home Cinema 3020? If you have a medium-sized room, want a bright image that tolerates some ambient light, and appreciate decent color accuracy without diving into ultra-high-end cinema gear, this projector hits a sweet spot. It's also a solid pick for families who want a simple way to enjoy occasional 3D content without buying a separate 3D system. The built-in HDMI and straightforward menu make it easy for non-techies to hook up a streaming stick, a gaming console, or a Blu-ray player. And because it's not overly expensive, it makes sense for someone setting up a home theater on a moderate budget. Who should skip it? If you have a dedicated dark home theater room and are chasing 4K resolution, deeper contrast ratios, or native 3D with premium glasses, you'll find the 3020 falls short. Gamers who demand low input lag for fast-paced shooters might also feel a little lag compared to dedicated gaming projectors. Finally, if you're planning to mount the projector on a ceiling and need extensive lens shift or keystone correction, you'll have to compromise on placement or